There is a part of Earth where time does not behave normally. No sunrise marks the beginning of a day. No sunset signals an ending. Down here, change happens so slowly that centuries pass unnoticed. Water presses from every direction with the weight of mountains. Temperatures hover just above freezing. Food arrives only as drifting remains from a distant world above. Almost everything that enters this darkness dies quickly, except something that doesn't. Something ancient. Something moving through the cold with quiet patience, not fast, not aggressive, not desperate to survive. Because survival for this creature is not a struggle. It is simply existence. Scientists studying these animals made a discovery so strange it forced them to reconsider how aging itself works. Some of these sharks may live longer than entire civilizations, longer than empires, possibly longer than modern science itself. And the deeper researchers look, the more unsettling the mystery becomes. Because the real question isn't how they survive, it's why time seems to almost forget them. In a world where most mysteries have already been explained, there are still places untouched by light, untouched by time, and almost untouched by human understanding. Welcome. My name is Sharik, and this is Midnight Marine Mystery, a channel where we dive beyond the surface of our planet, into the darkest oceans, the strangest life forms, and the scientific secrets hidden deep beneath the waves. Here, every story is real, every mystery is grounded in science, and every journey takes us closer to the unknown. New explorations arrive every Tuesday at midnight, 9 p.m. So dim the lights, put on your headphones, and prepare to descend, because tonight we go deeper than ever before. Nearly a kilometer beneath the ocean's surface, sunlight disappears completely. This is the twilight zone, and below it lies permanent night. Pressure here would crush human lungs instantly. Temperatures remain near freezing year-round. Energy is scarce. Life survives on leftovers. Tiny particles of dead organisms drift downward like underwater snow, what scientists call marine snow, the slow rain of a dying world above. Most animals here live fast and desperate lives, grow quickly, reproduce early, die young, because in extreme environments, evolution usually rewards speed. But deep-sea sharks chose a different path. Instead of speeding up life, they slowed it almost to stillness. Their movements are deliberate, their heartbeats slow, their metabolism barely burns energy. It is as if evolution pressed a pause button. And this raises the first mystery. Why would nature favor extreme slowness in a place where survival seems uncertain? In shallow oceans, sharks are symbols of power, fast hunters built for bursts of speed. But deep-sea sharks feel almost alien by comparison. Some swim slower than a drifting human. Their muscles are soft, their reactions delayed. Their bodies conserve energy at every possible level. Cold water plays a crucial role. Temperature controls chemistry itself. In cold environments, molecular reactions slow down. Imagine rust forming on metal. In warm conditions, corrosion spreads quickly. In freezing temperatures, it nearly stops.
A similar process happens inside living cells. Damage accumulates more slowly. Proteins degrade at reduced rates. Metabolism produces fewer harmful byproducts. Life stretches. Scientists believe this environmental slowdown may be one reason certain deep-sea sharks age at astonishingly slow speeds. But temperature alone cannot explain everything, because other cold water animals still age normally, which leads to a deeper question. What makes shark biology fundamentally different?
When researchers examined the Greenland shark, they encountered something unprecedented. These sharks swim through Arctic depths in near total darkness. They appear scarred, slow, almost indifferent to movement around them. At first glance, they seem ancient. But scientists needed proof. Traditional aging methods failed. Sharks lack bones with clear growth rings. So researchers turned to an unusual solution. They analyzed proteins inside the shark's eye lens. Unlike most tissues, these proteins form before birth and remain unchanged throughout life. By measuring radioactive carbon trapped inside them, remnants from nuclear testing decades ago, scientists estimated ages. The results stunned the scientific community. Some individuals were estimated to be over 400 years old, alive before modern industry, before electricity, before telescopes revealed distant galaxies, and even more shocking, they do not appear biologically old. No rapid decay, no catastrophic organ failure, just slow continuation, which raises an unsettling mystery. If aging is inevitable, how do these sharks delay it so dramatically?
Aging, at its core, is damage. Every heartbeat creates microscopic stress. Every breath produces reactive molecules that slowly harm DNA. Over decades, this damage accumulates. Cells malfunction, repair systems weaken, bodies fail. But deep-sea sharks may possess unusually effective repair mechanisms. Scientists suspect their cells prioritize maintenance over growth. Instead of investing energy into speed or reproduction, their biology invests in preservation. Think of two machines, one designed for performance, fast, powerful, but wearing down quickly. The other built for endurance, slow, carefully maintained, lasting generations. Deep-sea sharks appear to be the second machine. Their DNA repair systems may operate continuously, correcting errors before they accumulate. Their tissues show surprisingly low signs of degeneration. Yet researchers still don't fully understand how these mechanisms function. And this uncertainty leads to another mystery. If aging can be slowed this much, is aging truly unavoidable?
Most animals follow a predictable timeline: grow fast, reproduce early, compete aggressively. Deep-sea sharks reject this strategy entirely. Some may not reach sexual maturity until over 100 years old. For humans, this would be like becoming an adult sometime in the 2100s. Such a slow life should be evolutionary suicide. One accident could erase centuries of investment. Yet, in the deep sea, predators are few. Competition is minimal. The environment rarely changes. Stability rewards patience. Evolution, instead of favoring speed, favors longevity. But this creates a paradox.
If they reproduce so slowly, how have these sharks survived mass extinctions and environmental shifts for millions of years? Scientists still debate the answer. Perhaps survival here depends not on numbers, but persistence. Another strange detail emerges when studying deep-sea sharks. Many carry parasites attached to their eyes, sometimes glowing organisms that partially blind them. In shallow water, blindness would mean death. Yet these sharks continue thriving. Why? Because vision matters less where light does not exist. Instead, they rely on smell and subtle electrical signals produced by living organisms. Special sensory organs detect faint bioelectric fields, the invisible signatures of muscle movement. They hunt without seeing, without rushing, without wasting energy. Darkness, which destroys most life, becomes a protective shield. Fewer predators, less competition, reduced stress, and possibly reduced aging. But scientists ask an even stranger question. Could sensory simplicity itself help extend life? Deep-sea sharks possess unusual chemical compositions within their tissues. Their bodies contain high levels of compounds that stabilize proteins under pressure and cold. These molecules act almost like biological antifreeze. They prevent cellular structures from deforming. They maintain function where other organisms would collapse. Some researchers believe these chemicals may also protect against cellular damage linked to aging, but studying them is difficult. Specimens are rare, habitats are inaccessible, observation requires extreme technology. What we've discovered only deepens the mystery. Are these compounds simply survival tools or accidental keys to longevity? In the deep sea, nothing happens quickly. Currents move slowly. Growth happens slowly. Decay itself slows. Even death feels delayed. Bodies sink and remain intact for years. Energy cycles stretch across centuries. Deep-sea sharks exist perfectly adapted to this stretched timeline. Their biology mirrors their environment. Slow world, slow metabolism, slow aging. It is not just an animal adapting to a place, it is life synchronizing with geological time. And this raises perhaps the biggest mystery of all. Is aging partly shaped by environment rather than destiny? Despite decades of research, enormous questions remain unanswered. Scientists still don't know exactly how their DNA repair systems work. Why cancer appears extremely rare in these animals. How their immune systems function over centuries. What ultimately causes their death. Some may die from injury rather than age. Others may simply slow until biological processes stop. We do not yet know the true limits of their lifespan. Every discovery reveals how incomplete our understanding of aging really is. And perhaps most humbling of all, these answers lie in places humans have barely explored. Far below the surface, a shark moves through darkness older than human memory. It does not rush. It does not struggle. It simply continues. While civilizations rise and fall above, it swims through centuries unnoticed. The deep ocean covers most of our planet, yet we have mapped less of it than distant planets. Entire ecosystems remain unseen. Entire biological secrets remain undiscovered. Somewhere in that darkness, ancient sharks are still moving, slowly, quietly, carrying answers to questions humanity has only begun asking. Not about sharks, but about life itself, about aging, about time, and about how little we truly understand the living world beneath us. Because the deeper we explore, the more we realize Earth is not fully known, and perhaps never will be.
In the deepest parts of our planet, time does not stop. It simply moves differently. And somewhere in the endless darkness below, ancient sharks are still moving, untouched by the rush of time, carrying secrets we have only begun to understand. So before you leave, answer one question. Do you believe nature has already discovered the secret to slowing aging? Yes or no? Until our next descent, this is Sharik, and you're watching Midnight Marine Mystery. New mysteries arrive every Tuesday at midnight, 9 p.m. Stay curious and keep exploring the unknown.